रावणचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपद श्रील प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद श्रील प्रभुपद। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. We welcome you all to this morning Bhagavatam class. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 3, text number 29. Okay. त्वम् ईशिषे जगतस्तस्थुश्च प्राणेन मुखेन पतिः प्रजानां चित्तस्य चित्तैर्मन इन्द्रियाणां पतिर्महान् भूतगुणाशेषः त्वमीशिषे जगतस्तुश्च प्राणेन मुखेन पतिः प्रजानां चित्तस्य चित्तैर्मन इन्द्रियाणां पतिर्महान् भूतगुणाशेषः त्वम् ईशिषैर्जगत्स्तुश्च प्राणेन मुखेन पतिः प्रजानां चित्तस्य चित्तैर्मन इन्द्रियाणां पतिर्महान् भूतगुणाशेषः। Word meaning. Tvam, you, Ishishe, actually control Jagatah of the moving being. Tatah, Tastushaha of the being that is dull or stationed in one place. Cha and Pranena by the living force. Mukhena the origin of all activities. Patihi master. Prajanam of all living entities. Chittasya of the mind, chittaihi by the consciousness, manaha of the mind, indriyanam and of the two kinds of senses, acting and knowledge gathering, patihi the master, mahan great, bhuta of the material elements, guna and the qualities of the material elements, ashaya of desires, Ishah, the Supreme Master. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Your Lordship, being the origin of the life of this material world, is the master and controller of the living entities, both moving and stationary, and you inspire their consciousness. You maintain the mind and the acting and knowledge acquiring senses, and therefore you are the great controller of all the material elements and their qualities, and you are the controller of all desires. Purport. In this verse, it is clearly indicated that the original source of everything, the original source of, sorry, the original source of everything is in this verse, it is clearly indicated that the original source of everything is life. Brahma was instructed by the supreme life, Krishna. Krishna is the supreme living entity, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam, and Brahma is also a living entity. But the original source of Brahma is Krishna. Therefore, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7.7, Mattah parataram na anyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. O Arjuna, there is no truth superior to me. Krishna is the original source of Brahma, who is the original source of this universe. Brahma is a representative of Krishna, and therefore all the qualities and activities of Krishna are also present in Lord Brahma. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य प्रभुनित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैतगदाधर श्रीवासादिगौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. We again welcome you all to this morning Bhagavatam class. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 3, text number 29. Here, the context is that Lord Brahma appeared in front of Hiranyakashipu after seeing the austerities of Hiranyakashipu, tapasya of Hiranyakashipu. And when Lord Brahma appears in front of Hiranyakashipu, naturally Hiranyakashipu starts glorifying Lord Brahma. And while glorifying Lord Brahma, Hiranyakashipu started speaking the words that Lord Brahma is the supreme. And here in this shloka, Hiranyakashipu is saying that your lordship, being the origin of the life of this material world, is the master and controller of the living entities, both moving and stationary, and you inspire their consciousness. You maintain the mind and the acting and knowledge acquiring senses, and therefore you are the great controller of all the material elements and their qualities. and you are the controller of all desires. So, Prabhupada in purport saying that in this verse it is truly said and it is clearly indicated that the original source of everything is life. In today's day and age, people say that life comes from chemicals and matter. But scriptures guide us in the right direction, saying that life doesn't come from matter. Actually, matter came from life. Means something which is living can create something which is dead, or something which is what we call a material thing. So people in this world say things that chemicals converts into life. The so-called scientist in this world, but scriptures guide us that life doesn't come from chemicals, but life comes from life itself. So which is the supreme life which brought the living entities. So here it is, Srila Prabhupada in purport saying that Krishna is the supreme life. Krishna is the supreme living entity, nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam. Krishna is nitya and all the living entities are nitya. And Krishna is the supreme chetana or consciousness of all the living entities. But here Hiranyakashipu is glorifying Lord Brahma, saying that you are the supreme consciousness. And of course, Lord Brahma is the secondary creator of this material universe or this creation. Lord Brahma himself got created by Vishnu. So we know that from the navel of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, a lotus flower sprouts, and on the lotus flower, Lord Brahma appears. And Lord Brahma is given this responsibility of creation, material world. And in this context, Lord Brahma is the Lord of material world because he created, but he is not the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is one who guides Lord Brahma to create this material world, and that is Lord Krishna or Vishnu. So, Krishna is the supreme driving force. Through Brahma, Krishna created this whole material creation. That's why Brahma is called as secondary creator. Not he is not the primary creator. Primary creator is Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says that Mattah parataram na anyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. O Dhananjay, O Arjuna, there is no one superior to me. Not kinchid. Not superior. What to speak of superior? No one is equal to Krishna. Krishna is the original source and he is the supreme personality of Godhead. No one is superior to Krishna. So, here Prabhupada is saying Krishna is the original source of Brahma, who is the original source of this universe. Brahma is a representative of Krishna, and therefore all the qualities and activities of Krishna are also present in Lord Brahma. So, Prabhupada is mentioning here one thing that Brahma is a representative of Krishna, and because he is representative of Krishna, he can exhibit the qualities and activities such as Lord can do that. So, his quality of creation or activity of creation is similar to what Krishna creates, but Krishna creates in a huge, whereas Brahma creates in minute. But in our eyes, it is a miraculous or a huge activity which no human being or a demigod can perform. So Hiranyakashipu saw that The supreme person in this material creation is Lord Brahma, because he created this universe. And if I want something material, because Brahma created it, Brahma knows it, and he can give us. So he performed severe austerities to please Brahma, and so that get benedictions from Lord Brahma. And here Srila Prabhupada is indicating that Brahma is representative of Krishna. That's why he can perform such activities. So in this world, we also want to do something, something which is great, something which is wonderful. But the thing is that as a devotee, we must understand whatever we do, we should do as a representation of Krishna. Whatever we create or maintain. So let us take an example of preaching. If you try to preach and become famous, so obviously, if you become a nice preacher or if you help others to take Krishna consciousness, Krishna will make us famous. But with the vision of being famous, if we are doing this activity, so Krishna will say, okay, so create your own things and become famous. But if somebody becomes a humble servant of Krishna and just tries to please Krishna, then Krishna provides anything and everything which we require in that service. So Lord Brahma, he just tried to serve Krishna and please Krishna through his services. So Krishna provided intelligence, Krishna provided material elements, Krishna provided everything what Brahma needs to create. So similarly, if we need anything in the service of Krishna, we don't have to bother where from the things will come. Obviously, we have to struggle or we have to do hard work to get those things and to get that knowledge, but ultimately it comes from Krishna's arrangement. So if we can become the good representative of Krishna, that is our success. If we can become or try to become representative of Krishna, then it is Krishna's responsibility to uh, facilitate us. And Krishna does his responsibility very perfectly. There is no doubt. As Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, what is that shlok? Yoga Kshemam Vahami Aham. If my devotees who are Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, Ye Janaha Paryupasate, Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yoga Kshemam Vahami Aham. Tesham Nitya Abhiyuktanam. Whatever my devotees require, I always provide them with all those facilities. If he has something which he is using in my service, I will protect that. And if he requires something to use it in my service, I will provide that. So protection and deliverance, whatever we need, Krishna delivers it to us. And it's true that Krishna does that. There is a story of Arjunacharya, a devotee of Krishna. So he was once reading this verse and he thought, Krishna has so many what we call people to assist him. So why Krishna has to bother and has to personally come and deliver that object or thing to that devotee? If some devotee is asking for something or he needs something, and Krishna is saying that if my devotee needs something, I will provide it. And I will personally carry that thing. Yoga Kshemam Vahami. Vahami means I will carry that load on my back and deliver it to that devotee. So Krishna has so many servants. Why he has to bother and he has to come personally? So Arjuna Charya thought that by mistake it has been written that Vahami Aham. Krishna don't have to come personally. By his mind he can say, this thing should go to that devotee's house and that thing will appear there. Krishna don't have to come personally. So he thought that by mistake it is written that Vahami Aham. Hmm. मैं खुद इसे वाहन करता हूँ. ये this looks like by mistake it is written. So he, what we call, जैसे as we cancel something, if it is wrong we put some lines on the words. Like here, if we have the control the word desire and it is wrong, we write one or two lines on that. So he just with a red pen or red ink, he just puts three lines indicating that this is wrong sentence. Vahami aham. And his wife said, "Oh, my dear husband, will you read whole day Gita or you will bring something to eat? Huh? Go and ask for some alms, bhiksha." So, as he is a devotee and a brahmana, he goes for begging alms, but whole day he wonders, he gets nothing. And now he thinks that, oh my God, I don't have vegetables or something to cook, rice, dal in my house. So he wanders whole day, but he doesn't get it. In the afternoon, he comes back and he says something miraculous happened. That his wife is cooking. She's cooking different preparations for their lordship, and she was very happy. And she says, he says, where it all come from? I haven't brought it. Whole morning I wandered here and there just to get few alms, but I didn't got it. Where did from you got? So she said, what are you saying? Two boys came saying that you sent them with these things. He said, no, who were they? And she started mentioning how they were looking. One was dark and other was fair in complexion. And they were so beautiful. And the dark boy was very beautiful. He brought it on his back, and as she's saying that he brought it on his back, she remembered that his back was, what we call, having some, what do you call it, red marks on his back, which came because of if somebody beat some person with chabuk, so we get those marks, huh? So he was very severely beaten, and she remembers that the boy was saying that you beat him, and she was started chastising Arjunacharya. How cruel you are, so beautiful boys, and you beat them just because they are late. So he said, मैं मच्छर भी नहीं मारता हूँ, मैं उनको कैसे मारूंगा? I haven't beat those guys. And he understood the verse which in the morning I read, Vahami Aham. Krishna says, I personally carry whatever my devotee requires. And this is what Krishna is proving. He personally brought what Arjunacharya's family need. And he goes and rub that thing which in the morning he said it is wrong, and he confirms it is right. Krishna personally comes and he started glorifying his wife. How fortunate you are that you personally got darshan of Lord Krishna Balaram. Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai. So here the point is that only if we can become the good representative of Krishna, Krishna is ready to take all our responsibilities. But the only thing is that we have to become his representative. But in the course of being representative, sometime we become full focused on being famous, being expert, all those external things which we want for our personal enjoyment. So if we can truly become the representative of Krishna, Krishna will truly takes our responsibility, provides us whatever we need, and protects our things which we have as well as protect us too. Just we need to be his humble servant and be his good representative, good devotee of Krishna. Then it is Krishna who provides Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. He provides us intelligence, he provides us material, he will provide us anything and everything whatever we require for the service. So in the discussion with one of my colleague, one of the devotees, just I said, hey, you need this thing, why don't you purchase it? And after all, you are having this for the service of Lord. So just in talk, in very what we call, just we talk with our friends, and with no thinking, what we call, just he spoke out some words, and truly it was very meaningful and very touching. He said, what to speak of things I don't use my body for myself? Actually, this is what the conclusions of scriptures, which simply come from his mouth, just because he practiced. He said, what are you saying that this I have to purchase this thing because I don't use it for myself but the service of the Lord? I don't even use my body for myself, I use it for Krishna service. So for such a devotee, Krishna definitely provides whatever he needs. So Krishna says in 15th chapter of Gita, द्वाविमो पुरुषौ लोके क्षरः चाक्षर एव च क्षरः सर्वाणि भूतानि कुतस्थो अक्षरम उच्यते. There are two kinds of living entities in this world. One is called Kshara and other is called Akshara. Kshara means one who falls down, and Akshara means one who don't fall down. One is Chuta and other is Achyuta. So we read in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna's while speaking with Krishna, he calls Krishna as O Achyuta. So, meaning that Krishna doesn't falls down. He comes down to परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे विगे. In different yugas, Krishna comes down. He doesn't falls down. He appears. He descends. He comes down just to please his devotees by his different pastimes and protect and annihilates the miscreants and establish dharma. So in all these three lokas, whenever Krishna appears, it doesn't mean that Krishna comes as we get birth in this material world. When we get birth in this material world, it is called as Chuta. But Krishna is Achyuta. He never falls down. And in the purport of that verse, 15th chapter almost 16th verse. Srila Prabhupada says, somebody who, the living entity, who is in connection with Krishna, he is also Achyuta. Somebody who disconnects from Krishna, he is Achyuta, but somebody who is in connection with Krishna, he is also called as Achyuta. So the living entities in connection with Krishna are also Achyuta. They also doesn't falls down that from their position as a devotee of Krishna, as servant of Krishna. So it is our responsibility as having this human form of body, and in that having the devotional circumstance, the association of devotees, having service to their lordships. If we are having human form, in that you are having association of devotees, in that you are having services to the Lord, having all these scriptures and all these what you call sangha of devotee, it is our responsibility to take it seriously, to become humble servant of God, or to be in connection with the Lord. If we can become that, or if only we can try to be that, our life is successful. Gradually that mood will come where we can become humble servant of Krishna, and we can think ourselves to be only the servant of Krishna, not more than that. In this world we struggle hard to become celebrities. Everybody struggles very hard to become millionaire and billionaire. We struggle so hard to get a person who loves us, takes care for us. We have to struggle to achieve those things. After struggling also we don't get those things, that is the different part, but we struggle. But if we can struggle just to become a humble servant of Krishna, everything can be provided by Krishna. Look at the life of Srila Prabhupada. In his whole life, in his family life also, he was maintaining his family, working day and night to maintain the family, but he was trying to preach the glories of Krishna, trying to help devotees to preach the glories of Krishna. And what Krishna gave him, Srila Prabhupada says, in my life, Krishna says that in Gita or Bhagavad, I takes away everything from a devotee. It is the one form of Krishna's mercy. I takes away everything from my devotee when I am very pleased from my devotee, from his services. So I'm not remembering that shloka. Harishe tad dhanam shanai. Krishna says, I hara means takes away everything from a devotee, and Krishna gives everything to his devotees. Vahami aham. So in at the first Krishna took away everything from Srila Prabhupada, but in the last Krishna gave everything to Srila Prabhupada. Everything whatever he needed in his service. So we have so many role models in our life. We just have to open our eyes, ears to this simple process of Krishna consciousness, and we can find that we don't have to do some Herculean tasks. We just have to be simple and humble person, and just accept this Krishna consciousness, and very simple heart we have to serve Krishna. The simple things can become Herculean or huge by the mercy of Krishna. It is not that we do something heroic, we have to do something simple which Krishna likes and which Krishna wants us, and then Krishna will make it huge because it is his quality. And one who is representative of Krishna, he can exhibit qualities and activities as Krishna can exhibit. Why? Because he is connected with Krishna. He is a representative of Krishna. Electric board has the energy of electricity, energy that is electricity, because it is connected with the source where the electricity is generated. So similarly, if we get connected with Krishna, or if we remain connected with Krishna, we also can have the qualities, we also can perform the activities as Krishna performs. I'm not saying the quantity, I'm saying the quality. So Krishna describes what qualities he likes to see in his devotees in Bhagavad Gita. Mm. So Krishna says, if some devotee exhibits these qualities, I like that devotee. If he exhibits these qualities, I like that devotee. Such a me priya, such a me priya. So in Gita, Krishna speaks, I'm not remembering the chapter, almost it is 12th or 13th chapter, where Krishna says, such a devotee is very dear to me. So we have to understand what qualities Krishna likes us to have. And if we connected with Krishna, we get those qualities. With connection with Krishna, we can get the qualities what Krishna has. And what qualities Krishna has, Krishna likes it in his devotees too. So in nutshell, we can conclude this topic saying that if you can become the humble servant of Krishna and the good representative of Krishna, all the qualities, all the activities which are there in Krishna can also be there in us. As Brahma is a representative of Krishna, and therefore all the qualities and activities of Krishna are also present in Lord Brahma. Srila Prabhupada is saying in the purport. Why? Because he is Achyuta. Why? Because he is in connection with Krishna. And because he is the representative of Krishna, he is exhibiting the qualities and activities what Krishna has. So we just have to do a simple thing, that we have to become a simple devotee of Krishna. His Holiness Bhakticharya Swami Maharaj, many times he spoke in his class. We just try to become a good devotee of Krishna. Krishna is pleased. So thank you very much for being here. We thank all the devotees who are present here, online and offline. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Amal Puran Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nithai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari.